Blessings. I want to come on this morning. Let me turn this down. Blessings, everybody. Listen, today is an amazing Thursday in the month of August, which is the month of new beginnings, right? We are exactly where we're supposed to be. Exactly where we're supposed to be. So on this morning, I wanted to come on in and just share just a little motivation with you on this journey. Listen, I'm just going to be transparent throughout my process and the processes, because it never ends, right? It's like you know in your mind exactly where you want to be and what you want in your life. But the thing about it is it's in God's timing. What are the things that we should do when we're in the midst of the promise while we're being prepared, right? Blessings. Hey, Miss Nicole. Hey, Ingrid. Listen, during those trying times where it seems as though you are doing every single thing to make it happen, and you're not seeing it, it's only because the time has to be put in. It's something about experiences, and it's something about self-mastery. When it gets to the point that situations come up in our lives to prepare us for the things in which that are unknown in our lives. And a lot of times it's not to say we want microwave living, but it gets to a point where you have to surrender and embrace your process, whatever that might be for you. So I just want to come on today and just be a word of encouragement to somebody that's in the midst of they're in the middle of the preparation and their promise. And I want you to know you're exactly where you're supposed to be. The more you surrender to the cause, to your journey, to whatever that has to take place in your life, in order to get you to where you need to be. A lot of times when we see others' success, or we look to the left or to the right and we see people doing things, we don't understand that a lot of times it's years in the making. It's a lot of the grunt work, the grind work, the personal development, a lot of the preparations that we never seen a part of their journey. Every single person has to have a story. When we look in the Bible, we see that each person is named based on who they preceded by, like their relatives, their ancestors, in reference to their great grandparents, and they speak of those things to get you prepared to know the depth in where the person is going to be, what they're made of, right? I want you to know that you are just like the Father. In every aspect, you have the power to co-create every single thing in your life based on your level of surrendering to the process. Because when we get negative thoughts, or we get that fear, or we allow ourselves to run with it, it takes us off the path from getting to where we need to be. In this journey, it is meant to be he never told us it was going to be easy, because, baby, it's not easy. It's so many different things that come at you left and right, but he allows us to get the strength internally to deal with everything that comes our way. And a lot of times we want to fast forward over things that we must master in order to be able to help others in the process, because this life is not our own. Blessings, Pastor Elliott. This life is not our own. So a lot of the situations that we see, it's not for us. It's for us to master and to get the victory over, so we can shed light to somebody else, just as those in the Bible was able to go through situations, master it, surrender to the cause, and know that God is going to bring you out of whatever that circumstance is, whatever the circumstance is, whatever it might be, and understand that his never-ending peace is within you. He made us like a perfect package. You have every single thing you need inside of you. The more you forgive, the more you heal, the more you allow yourself to think of the big picture, the more you get the strength to endure the process, right? That's the beauty of it all. That's the beauty of this whole thing. And I know we're in a season where it has been tight, right? But it's been right. As Pastor Marvin Jackson would say, it's tight, but it's right. It's been tight, but it's right. And it's right on time. And I want you all to know that you are powerful. If you need to hear today because your surroundings are not reassuring you throughout your process, you are powerful. You are designed to win every single thing that comes your way. You have the power to overcome everything that comes your way. You know, as I was sitting, I want to turn it around. Like, God shows us the simple things in life and allows us to see the big picture in things. When you understand that life is so valuable, your time that you have, and it's up to you how you choose to maximize or enjoy your time, the things that are simple in our lives. Because when we hone on blessings, Kim Nicholson, when we hone on to the big picture, which is, listen, this is all for my good. If I just stay focused and understand that this is all for my good. No, it is not easy. It is not easy at all. No, it isn't, but it is so necessary. A lot of times, you know, I'm holding on to the promise for so many things in my life, and I cannot help it at times when I'm like, oh, why is this not happening? Or I have to surrender, because that's the only thing to release the pressure. Surrender it to the Lord. He says, all your heavy burdens, everything, give it to him, because we can't do anything about it. Are you willing to, you know, I was reading the other day when they said if you had $68,000, let's give an example, and someone or you lost $10 of it, or someone took $10 of it, would you allow yourself, what would you do with the rest of the $67,000? Good morning, Adrienne, Miss Wright. What would you do with the rest of the $67,000? Would you throw it down the drain? Would you give it, like, what would you do? That's the same way we are with our moments throughout our day, because now is forever. The consistent moment of time, it's literally constant. The Lord allows us to take advantage of looking at the bigger picture if we choose to, because our emotions will lead us to a place. You know, we have so many things that go on in our head, so many thoughts, but the Bible tells us to take captive every single thought. And no, it's not easy. It's time when your mind is going to try to work against you, but I need you to understand on this Thursday, because this is the beginning of this month, and you know it'll be over in no time. You have the power to shift your mind and focus on the bottom line. What's your bottom line? As an engineer, I am a solution-based individual, and that's what helps me get back grounded. Things that used to make me depressed for months and it used to be years and frustrated, literally, I'm like, listen, how do I want to proceed forward? How do I want to feel about this? Because at the end of the day, I can't make anything, and I don't want to make anything happen, because that will be temporary. I only want to be in God's divine timing, because we have known through experience when we rush things, when we put our hands in it, when we go into thinking ahead, it brings on fear, it brings on anxiety. That's why we're supposed to be in the moment. The enemy, not even the enemy, we have to get out of when we want what we want. And that is not easy when you're used to being a make it happen person, and you're used to being, hey, Sade, when you're used to controlling things. It's hard to be like, I want this to happen, because we know input and output. If I do X, Y, I'm going to get Z. That's not how life works. And it's definitely not how it works with people and souls and people that we're assigned to deal with, and lessons that we are assigned and designed to learn. It's a process that you have to master to understand the bigger picture, because the whole point of being on this earth is about the bigger picture. And if we get so caught up in our emotions, blessings, Javon, blessings, Powerhouse, if we get so caught up in our emotions all the time, yeah, it is very hard. Listen, I am the one to tell you, and it is real. And especially when you're designed to be a headstrong individual, which all of us are, your emotions will try to run your life. Your thoughts in your mind will try to run your life. It will try to allow you to be responsive and reactive to every single thing around you, or every single thing that happens to you. And that's not the way this thing is supposed to go. You are in control based on your surrender. That's what I've learned. If I could tell anybody the thing that I've had to learn and learning, in the last couple years was surrendering to the process, surrendering to the cause, surrendering to my position, my current position, surrendering to the day of where I am and where I think I want to be. I have to surrender. I must surrender to the whole everything, because I can't change anything, and I don't want to anymore, because it takes you out of your now moments. And what's the point when you're draining yourself? You're getting frustrated about stuff that hasn't even happened. You're thinking all these thoughts that are taking you to a place that's stealing your moments away that you do not get back. This thing is real. Life is real, but it's real good. At the end of the day, when we take a step back and we're able to look at things, it's like, I needed that, right? When you look back on all the things the Lord has delivered you from, you're like, listen, I needed every bit of that, because the hard thing to realize is our biggest jumps in life and our biggest advancements, blessings, Eddie Smith, our biggest advancements in life, yeah, it does take humility. Yes, because a lot of pride was one of my biggest things, because I learned how to be very self-sufficient very early off in life. I wanted to have my own. I didn't want to have to ask anybody for anything. So I created a world that it was just me and my bubble. And that's not how life works. And if you want to get broken down to the point that you have to ask others for help, you will get that, because pride can't go where God is taking you. Pride, ego, that has to die, and it's the process of dying, especially when a lot of things have been hidden behind controlling situations and thinking we have control over situations. It takes away from our ability to enjoy what it's like we're doing all this to get to this Z, but the whole point was enjoying the X plus the Y, right? We're doing all this to get to the Z when the whole point was to enjoy the middle, the everything of it, the nothingness, the everything of your journey. We're so focused on this when we must be enjoying, even when it looks like it's not going good, even when it don't feel good, even when you got to slob and cry. Give yourself a certain time. Listen here, I'm going to get this amount of time to face what I'm currently facing, and then it has to go. I've dealt with it. I've grieved over it. I've let it loose. I forgived it. You have to go through it in order to allow it to go through your system, and don't allow it to get buried in your system. And that's when so many sicknesses, and that's when illnesses come up, and that's where you start harboring on the energy that takes you to a place that it's hard to get out of. But listen, we must master allowing ourselves to understand that you are your biggest project. You are your only project. The more you go internally to deal with the things, to learn how to keep joy in your life. No, every moment is not happiness, because it's only happening while it's only happy when it's happening. Blessings, Loretta. It's only happy when it's happening. We have to allow ourselves, when you are at a place where you feel so good in your life, figure out what it is that got you there, and do your best to get better and better at staying there. That's the whole point. When you're having great moments, figure out what got you there. And normally you're at a piece of surrender, you're at a piece of gratitude, you're at a piece of, you know what? I'm taking this a day at a time. Because when we look forward in front of the future, or we worry about the past, it takes away and it stalls us out in the process. And we know what stagnation is. Stagnation is dead. And listen here, life is about evolving. Evolution is something is forever dying, and something is being birthed. And if we're not ready to let go of things that must die within us in order to let other higher levels within us come out and be birthed out, a new mindset, a new outlook on things, we will literally forfeit and abandon the whole big picture. Because God says He will make you into He's the potter, we're the clay. He will literally design you into this fortitude of an amazing vessel, that everywhere you go, you will be changing the world that it is looking for. Self-mastery in reference to our emotions, that's one of the things in my life. Emotional control is one of the things that I had to learn. And it has not been easy. But when I tell you, when you consider the things that are of old, that's right. We have to look at the things in which he's already brought us out of. Use that as evidence. That's why, write it down. That's why I literally write it down so you can remind yourselves when it gets tough, because life is a continuous process. But I want you to understand that you have the power. I refuse to meditate on the no. That's right. Turn every no into a yes, because it's only a matter of doing something different and thinking different in order to turn every no into a yes. It's only not looking at, oh, well, this is the end. Well, what else do I need to do to rectify that situation? Let's start being solution based. Listen here. What do I need to do to get this feeling out my spirit? What do I need to do to shift the atmosphere? Let's be solution based. Blessings, Marielle. What do I need to do what's my part in it? Because he's given me the power. What is my part to take me back to the place of joy, of gratitude? What do I need to do to literally shift back? And it gets easier and easier, but it's a process. I've been in business for the last 14 years, and as I look back on this process, I've learned so much, and all I can say is thank you, Jesus, because I know I would not be the woman I am today without the rejection, without the hurt, without the pressure. That's right, because most people are pausing based on the pressure, and the pressure is only refining you and giving you the ability to level up. Pressure is necessary. And for those that have kids, get your kids involved in sports and get your kids involved in things that allow them to be multitasked, meaning that they have to, get good grades. They have to be a great participant. They learn early how to hear congratulations. They learn early how to deal with focusing on multiple things, because I hear so many people say, oh, well, I want to do this, win this. That's why we have to focus on the bottom line. Blessings, Betsy Johnson. So many times it's like, I want to do this. Life normally never clears out and the bright sky happens and it's just the divine time for X, Y, and Z. Normally you have to learn how to do multiple things at the same time. When you're in a season of sacrifice, it requires you to do multiple things at the same time and to be efficient in it based on your level of passion about your bottom line. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to give up in order to get and become the person that God wants you to be? I remember being at a place when I've seen how God has literally shifted my life. As I sit in my apartment, I see all of these cars, and everybody is on this fast track of life, like just moving. Everybody is moving. Everybody, things are being built up around you. If you look up, things are being changed and shifted. Things are literally going up and things are being torn down. Just the basic thing of construction. Everywhere I go, I see construction. And I'm showing you to show you this. In order for you to be new and renewed, you have to go under construction. In order for it to look so nice, you got to go under construction. And going under construction requires you to have to what? Some things got to be excavated, taken away, cleared out. You have to have a level of a plan to move forward. That's construction. And also, that's the same way it applies to our lives. Allow the Lord to build you up. Look around. Everything is being built up everywhere. It's being built up. Every single place we look around, it's being built up. It's being built up. Look. But it's going to look nice, right? People are going to enjoy it. People are going to look forward to it. But that's the same way it is in our lives. It has to literally be stripped down, cleared out, prepped up for the new structure, for the new season, for the new in our lives. We say we want the new, but we don't be wanting to deal with what it takes to get to the new. It's like, I want this, this, and that. But in reality, in order for this, and that to happen, I have to become this woman that I need to be. Blessing Shireen, blessing Alicia. In order for, I say I want this type of life, but in order for me to be able to maximize that life, I have to become. And just like this construction, you got to be torn. Oh, it's over. You have to be torn down. You have to be torn down. And then guess what? You see all these cars going by? You see all of these cars going by? It's going to be so many distractions happening around you while you're getting built up. While you're getting, so you get my point. It's always going to be things moving. It's always going to be things that's literally pushing you to, okay, do I focus on getting built up, or do I focus on the cars moving by and the cars stopping and people slowing up around me, or people around me not moving to the pace that I'm moving? Or do I, that's right, Shireen, we must do the work. And a lot of the work is actually what? Surrendering to the cause. A lot of the work is actually what? Allowing God to tear down the old thought processes. It's a lot of unlearning that has to happen. That's one thing I've learned. We have to unlearn a whole lot of things that were designed based out of fear, so that we learn how to cope during our past. So what are the things in your life that you learned to be like, or you learned to do and became a habit so that you can just cope? What are some of those things that you need to unlearn so that you can learn a new way on how to respond to your new level? A lot of stuff, it has to be more. That you see how it's so still right now, just that slight still moment in this busy day. It's just everybody's at a standstill. Everybody is, well, that car, but they are literally at a standstill. That's the stillness I've learned. And just like you see the car going around, it's going to be people when you need to be still in your life that are still moving and going to be going around you, past you. But I challenge you to make sure you know when you need to stay in your lane. Come on now. A lot of times I see right outside this window so many accidents happening because the person is so anxious and want to go around the person at the wrong moment, and they're causing unnecessary accidents and issues. That's the same way we are in our lives. When we get to the point where we want to just speed it up, and we cause unnecessary issues in our lives because we're not embracing the process. Listen, the Lord, listen. The Lord has designed this thing to work for our good. He's designed us to be built for tough. He's designed us to be able to endure this process. No, it's serious. That's right. It is so serious. And I felt the need to come on this morning because, listen, it's a level of heaviness in the air because so much is going on. But if you just trust the process, your process, if you just stay in your lane, if you just get tunnel vision and allow God to do what he needs to do in your life, because it's going to always be distractions. If you just allow yourself to stay in your now moment, if you allow yourself to master your emotions and your mindset, I tell you, it can be anything going on. I mean, everything is going on around me, and it's just so peaceful when I tell you, because I choose for it to be that way, because I'm just tired. You know how you get to the point you're just sick and tired of being caught up in all the whirlwind of what's going on in the world, because nothing changes with that. It's going to always be something going on. That's right. It's the process. We used to hear so many cliches back in the days. Just keep living, baby. But now we see for ourselves what they meant by just keep living. Some of the things you say you wouldn't do, some of the things you said you want, just so many things. If we just keep on living, we're going to see how things continue to evolve. And listen, if you're not evolving, you're dissolving. Meaning, if you're not allowing things to die within you in the process, nothing would allow you to allow things, the proper things, to be birthed out. So if you want this new next level that is available right now, especially with the essence that we're in right now, the energy that we're in right now. Listen, it only requires you to release the things that no longer serve you, to accept the things that are going to refine you, and to get in your mind that it's not going to be easy. So let's just get that out of our mind. And then to get out of our mind that we can manually speed it up. You are exactly, that's why the title today is exactly. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Enjoy it. Smile. If you're having blessings, Maria, blessings, Quatanya, how you doing? Blessings, good morning. Thank you for joining on in. I'm Nekia Foxx from Nekia Foxx & Company, where I help amazing men and women transform from the inside out, right? In this process of being self-employed for 14 years, I've learned how to trust. I've learned how to not respond. I've learned how to shift, and I'm continuously learning. That's the thing about life. It only allows you to embrace. It's going to be seasons in your life where you must sacrifice the moment in order to do, not the moment, but your money and the moment. You must sacrifice the moment, meaning that events that you cannot go to, meaning that it's going to be seasons where you can't work as much like you used to work, so you can deal with yourself. Listen, it's going to be seasons where you have to make executive decisions about your life based on the big picture. What do you need right now? Some people need to max it out and just do what God told them to do. Blessings, Maria. Blessings. Some people are in a season where they need to just go ahead and max out what God has told them to do. You've read enough books. You've hired your coaches. You've gone to seminars. You've ordered the pre-cake mix. All you need to do is put it in the oven. There are some people that need to quiet down their spirit and calm down. And that's when we need to quiet down in life. Normally something has to happen, and if we get wise when we go through seasons where God wants you to be still, normally you lose a job, normally you end up, health that you got to slow it down. But let's use wisdom when we're in a season where you just need to sit down, be still. I've seen so many times. I remember the season in my life where I had to move back home, and I was literally at a brink of a nervous, I had maxed out my mind, my efforts. It gets to a point where you can't even do nothing for your situation. Have you ever been there where it was like, you know what? I've taken myself as far as I can take myself. I've done as much as I can do. All I can do is just be still. It's nothing else that I can do. Have you been at that point where you literally like, I've done all I can do? So what the Lord tell you? Just stand still. And that I've learned out of hard knocks of trying to make stuff happen when it's not supposed to happen. I've also had to learn, it's some seasons in your life when you have to use wisdom and discernment times 20, because I see so many people get through a season where they're spiritually and emotionally stretched thin. And then circumstances will come in. Blessings, Joseph. Circumstances will come in and require even more of you. And then you need to know when you need to manually put a shutdown, because if you don't, honey, it's only one you will break. And it's not worth you losing your mental capacity or your well-being or it takes so much to even get back on track. So yeah, you might have to lose some money. Yeah, you might have to go on a budget. Yeah, you might have to eat the same thing for a good month, so that you can be able to what? Sit down and take care of yourself. How are you? I teach my clients how to judge. What are you on a daily basis on a 0 to 10 scale? Be real with yourself. Some days you're not going to be an 8 or a 9. Some days you are at a 3, meaning that you don't need to deal with nobody that day. And you need to take you a personal day for yourself. Meaning that you tell somebody you got an appointment and the appointment is you. When you tell somebody you're going on vacation and that vacation is with you. When you say you're going somewhere and you need to do you. Because listen, you are no good for nobody else or nothing, and you can't efficiently do what you want to do if you are on 0. if you are on low. You cannot be your best. You're not going to attract what you need to attract in your life. You're not going to be able to focus and have clarity. You're not even going to be able to maximize what's in front of you if you are on low. Blessings, Terry House. I know how that feels to be on low, but then I'm the busiest that I've ever been when I am on low. But I've learned from being in the hospital, looking around, and the nurses saying, you're so young, how did you get here? When you literally, your heart, liver, and your kidneys were acting up because you literally have burnt yourself out. You have emotionally got wrapped up in everybody's stuff because all they do is call you to be an outlet to tell another story. And then they leave, and then since your solution is you're just trying to figure out stuff and they're leaving you with the burdens. I had to learn how to not answer my phone. I had to learn how to put myself first. I had to learn that my peace is a priority. I had to learn that my well-being is one of the most important things, because if my well-being, my total well-being is not together, I'm no good for any environment, any situations, because then I will be more responsive and reactive instead of being able to make logical decisions, right? These are things that we are supposed to be learning, but I don't want to have to learn the hard way no more. I really don't. So let me surrender to whatever I need to surrender. If I got to take 2 months off and just work regular or work minimum, let me do that so that I can maximize the next 6 or 8 months. Let me do what I need to do so that I can be my best self. So when I show up and I show up in a room, I'm coming 150%. Hey, Auntie Pee-wee. Hey, Sharon. Blessings. Thank you for joining. But I had to learn that, and I had to learn it the hard way, because we are taught to put ourselves last. We are taught to sacrifice our what we need. We're taught that your feelings and how it's not important. We are taught to not really deal with ourselves, and that has caused a generation of neglect. And then it's to the point that you're telling your spirit, oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and your body and your spirit don't even trust you because you've neglected it for so long. It doesn't even show up the way it needs to show up because it doesn't trust you. The person that needs to trust you is you. And if you have not done yourself good, your spirit is not going to show up the way it needs to show up, because you have not showed it the level of responsibility that your journey requires. It's going to be just like when people say you're not drinking enough water, so your body is just storing up all this water, so now you all swollen, right? You know, you hear that saying, oh, you haven't been drinking enough water, you're dehydrated. It's dehydrated, so it's just storing up all of the necessary fluids that go in your body, which is now causing other issues, inflammation, and now you're having issues walking and standing and being active because you neglected to do the proper thing of just drinking basic water. The same thing applies to your emotional state, your mental state, your spiritual state. Don't get spiritually dehydrated. Don't get mentally off and neglect your mind and your emotional state. Don't neglect it, because guess what? Your spirit will start holding on to stuff because it's like, she ain't gonna take a break. She's not going to do the things that's required for us, because we know what's about to happen in this life, and she's not doing none of the things that she needs to do. So we're going to just stall out for her right now, or we're going to just store up what we need to store up right now for her. And that's when you're like, I'm just going to sleep and I'm so tired when I wake up still, because your body is saying you're not going to rest, so we go get all we need to get because you're not putting you first. Learn how to put you first. Learn how to embrace exactly where you are. Learn how to take care of yourself. Learn how to learn your lessons, right? The easy way, not the hard way. We don't have to just keep learning this stuff the hard way. Listen, blessings, Dean. We don't have to, it's not a must that you learn the hard way. A lot of times, if we just look back on what's not working for us, what no longer serves us, you will see that you can start making much more proactive decisions, and then you can allow yourself to have the peace in your spirit to make more productive steps in your life, and also to make better decisions. Every the better your decision-making process is, the better you get at your time. I just had to tell my trainer, listen here, I'm going to focus on eating. I'm going to focus on a schedule for 24 hours. Because if I don't focus on my eating, meaning that I need to eat consistently a certain type, like a level, like you got to be consistent. Your body is like, what's going on? If I don't focus on the foundation of a thing, because I can work out all day long and not see the results that I need to see, because it's what you put in your mouth or not putting in your mouth. Are you not drinking enough water? We know what to do. Are you not drinking enough water? Are you not eating a balanced diet? Are you skipping meals? Are you eating too late? We know what we're not supposed to be doing. So you might can't go full-fledged because you're paying this money and you're not seeing the results because you're not 100% with the foundational principle, which is your eating. Some of that is the same way it applies to our lives. If your mental state is not together, if your emotional state is not together, you are not going to see the results you need to see in your life. Even if it sounds good and it's a really good plan, but if you're not doing what's required for your journey, blessings Tramisha, blessings to Car, blessings D, if you're not doing and as an engineer, I had to get back and say, listen here, I can go to the trainer 4 days a week, but if I am not eating, this man is amazing, the best trainer ever. If I am not eating properly and I'm not drinking the right amount of water for my weight, if I am not sleeping properly, if I am not emotionally balanced, you're going to not send the cortisol through. All these levels in your body are not going to be balanced. It's not relaxed enough. You're not eating properly. It's harboring all the different water. You're going against the bottom line. The same way applies to our lives. If your emotional state is not together, if your mind is not together, if your living quarters, I excel in organization, in clean environments, in beautiful environments. If it's beautiful, if it's organized, if it's very clean, I excel. I do not excel in clutter. I do not excel when I can't find things. I do not excel when things are not beautiful around me. You know, I remember staying in an apartment and I had to move because the landlord will not clean up his yard. And I'm like, I'm paying this money to live down here, and you're not even making the environment. When I pull up to my apartment, when I pull up every day, the flowers, I don't care if I put flowers out here, but if you're not mowing the lawn, if you got weeds growing up everywhere, I don't even like coming here. So guess what? That started changing my mood. Ask yourself, is your living environment, is that conducive to how you want to feel? It needs to be beautiful. And it's whatever beautiful is to you. Whatever that is to you. If you do what you can do, clean your house, organize your clothes, I'm telling you, it will change your life. Be organized. The Bible says cleanliness is next to godliness, and I can vouch for that. My life changed when I started living in order, when I started just literally making a routine and a priority that I can't deal with clutter. I just can't deal with it. It takes my focus off. It makes me not want to be home. It does a whole lot of things. Decent and in order. That's right. We need things in order. And they'll appreciate it later when they go off to college and see how nasty and how some people live. I appreciated it when I went off to college. You know, I thought, because my dad woke me up every single morning. Like, I had to get up at 5:30 every morning, make the breakfast, make his sandwich, prep the meat to cook in the evening times. And then on Saturdays, you think you finna watch cartoons. No, honey, you getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you can't wipe windows with no Windex. You got vinegar and water in this newspaper. He taught me how to, when you make this bed, you just can't make this bed. You got to cuff this bed with this envelope cuff, right? You got to cuff that bed with that envelope cuff. But baby, when I tell you, I'm so grateful for that type of teaching. I'm so grateful for those type of lessons, because I know when I seen the opposite around me, I was like, oh Lord, how in the world can you How can you even function in this type of environment? I thought everybody clean. I thought everybody lived like that. When I went to college, I couldn't believe how. I said, "What in the what? This is just." I could not believe the disorder that was a lot of people's norm. It was functioning in dysfunction. Living your norm is disorder and out of order is not a good thing to be able to normalize. And that's one thing I learned early, and I appreciate that tough love, because when I went in situations that was not conducive to that type of environment, I felt all out of place. I just could not. I could not deal with it. The same way when you meet people that they spirit is just all over here, you can't even be around them too long. When they're just, you're trying to get them a solution and they're giving you every kind of excuse in the book for why they're not or why it will not work, you can't be around. It's hard to even be around them long. It's the same way when you're around somebody that they're just so negative and pessimistic about everything. They can't even find a positive thing to say about themselves. You can ask them, what do you like about yourself? They will literally sit there, I'm sure, and pause for a length of time, because they're all over the place and not focusing on the internal aspect of dealing with themselves. Deal with you so you can change your mindset. When you change your mindset and you get clarity, you can't be in disorder or clutter or dysfunctional situations, relationships, friendships, nothing. You don't even want no one-sided anything. You don't even deal with people that are not reciprocating this. It's just, if it's not in flow, it's like you're allergic to it. When you start getting to deal with you start seeing what your true value is and who God has made you to be. You no longer deal with individuals that devalue you or do not know your worth. It's like you can't even talk. It's a conflict of interest. That's why I challenge everybody, spend some time with yourself, so that when you do go in other environments that are not right, you'll know that that's not right, because you know what good peaceful place is. Allow yourself to deal with your internal aspect. I see so many individuals I talk to, and I'm like, listen, it's hard for me to, I can't take you on as a client to coach you because your foundation is not there. The same way I had to do with my dieting. Listen, if you are not eating properly, I don't care. Weight loss, weight maintenance is 70% of what you eat or do not eat. If you're sleeping or not sleeping, if you're stressed or not stressed. So we know the foundational principles of creating results with living a healthy lifestyle. If you're active or not active. Those are basic foundational principles. If you're not doing those things, you cannot expect to see definite results that you need to see for your skin to glow. I was wondering why I was breaking out. Listen, leave that processed stuff alone. Get you a good banana. Eat some fruit. Blessings, Jose. Blessings, Cleo. But let me get back to, because I'll go on a rampage. That's what happens when you're always by yourself. When you finally get to deal with your lovely people, you just go to talking and talking and talking. I miss you all. But I'm going to start coming on here and answering questions for a business, because I want to be of service. Like, I've learned so much that if you are at a place where you don't know where to start or what to do next, or a lot of people just don't know, and they don't know how to get to their next level. And I understand that if you can just get some guidance. A lot of stuff I've learned from books. Like, books have, let me show you. Let me show you what I had to learn. Let me show you. I had to learn how to read. This is one of my libraries. I had to learn how to read. I literally, you see books. I had to learn how to read. If you don't know what to do, read. If you can't hire a coach, read. How to get profits. Let's see, one of my best, my main books is in the car that I'm reading now. When I tell you, I'm going to share those with you. But read. It's so simple. Read. Reading will literally change your life. Just read a book. Go back. My dad would tell me, if you want to hide something from somebody, give them a book. You want to hide some good stuff, put it in a book. Because I guarantee you, listen, if you're trying to get your mind right and get to your next level, listen, my coach, one of my first coaches, Marshawn Evans, you need to read this book, Believe Bigger. This woman is a multi-millionaire, but she's going to teach you how to discover your life, literally how to get your mind ready for that next level. This book is major because when I wanted to dump it all and just be like, you know what, forget, I'm tired. Let me just jump to the next thing. Pivot. Look, the only move that matters is your next one. You have to learn how to pivot your moments. Like, what all do you know so far? Have you maximized every outlet that you currently have? Have you done your best to create streams with all the things that you already know? What have you done? Listen, another one. The 4-hour work week. How can you work less and get paid more? Listen, it's in the books. These are people normally, once they make a certain amount, they want to give it out. I want to get to that point that I make so much money that I can help so many people without even thinking twice of it ever coming back to me. I want to be able to make so much money that I can help others change their lives without me even having I get an amazing feeling off of giving. That's why I want to make so much money. So if I want to change a life, I can change a life. I can literally change a life based on how much I feel I am worth to be able to do what I need to do so I can get all this money to help others, right? That's the whole point. Some people, it ain't all about money. You can't do anything without any money. You can't help somebody, all them good family members. You can't help all the good people you're going to meet, all these kids that I want to be able to go in and remodel rooms for kids because I grew up I always lived in pretty environments. My mom is the decorator of decorator. The Lord has blessed me. My room was always the curtains, the bed, the rugs, everything was always beautiful. So that's right. We got to be a giver. That's right. The Bible tells us it's better to give than to receive. And I used to be like, huh? But then people trying to use you, but I had to learn. When I stopped giving, my blessings stopped. When I allow people to take me out of that, it's a gift. Everybody is not a giver. To be a giver is a gift. When you are a giver, you always have to give. I learned that from my father. That man always had fresh $100 bills. That's all I know. Because he was a giver. When you give, you always place of abundance, you always have to give. So that's the same way I want to live in my life. I want to make so much money. To any place that I can make a difference, I'm able to do so. Any place or any way I can make a difference, I'm able to do so. You can change lives when you have the proper provisions in place to be able to help somebody. Let's say you met a single mother. You might want to help get her kids bedroom sets. Well, for me, I want to literally go into some of these kids that they don't have curtains. They have never had a pretty room. They have never been, because I know as an artist, I'm an artist. When I am around beautiful things, I feel good. I'm very creative. Things just literally start flowing. Do you know how these babies are living in these environments where it does not feel like home and comfort? Do you know how they feel every day when everything is white around them? They need to feel like they can feel safe, comfortable, happy in their living environments. I want to go into their parents' house and literally remodel it so that if you change a household, you will change a generation. If you can just provide in their household an environment that looks like you want to be there, they might start cooking for these kids every day. They might give these kids a balanced meal. They might start getting a glimpse of how this thing's supposed to go. They might sit down and start eating with their kids, right? They might sit down and start having conversations with their kids just by changing the living environments, because it looks and feels like home now. So I might want to do the things now that if I have a family that happens in a home. That's what I want to be able to do, is go and change lives by creating new environments, new thought processes. My nonprofit will be out soon, you guys. I'm so excited. We're finalizing everything. And when I tell you the people that I am so excited to help, so excited to help. So I'm so grateful to be able to help, to be able to go in and say, listen here, well, this is what I know. What do you need? Because I've always prided myself on reading so I can be resourceful. How can you add value to the ones around you? What do I have that you need? How can I help you? That's the spirit that I want to stay in. How can I help you? How can I give you something that you're feeling like you don't have so you can move forward? What is missing so you can get to your next step? What do you not know so that we can get so many people? Well, I don't know. I want to start a business. Well, listen, it's simple steps to start a business. It's not. Listen, it's not that hard how we have in our heads. I meet people, I want to buy a house. It's not that hard. Listen, we have to stop overthinking things. Let's give you the proper information. Let's figure out where you are. I send all of my clients to get an analysis. Let's figure out where you currently are to figure out what we need to do to get you. If you're at X, we need to do this Y so we can get you to Z. That's how life is. Where are you? What do you need to do to get to the Z? You at Y, you need to do you at X, you need to do the Y. X plus Y equals Z to get you to your Z. Let's provide solutions, resources. I want to be able to help inmates they have felonies. Listen here, we want to be able to help you be able to start your next level, right? You don't have to stay stuck. If you can help a head of household, you can help a generation. Listen, that's my thing. If we can heal a parent, you can heal a generation. If we can provide another stream of income for a household, you can relieve the stress that allows that parent to be more free for that child to enjoy the environment that they're living in. It's nothing like when you are not worrying about surviving, when you are allowing yourself to now have the ability to just live. It's nothing like when you're not worrying about every single month these bills come every 10 days. It's nothing like when you're doing the proper steps to take yourself out of survival mode. It's hard in survival mode. When you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like your whole month keeps going by stressed out by bills every 5 days because they come every 10 days. We have to do the necessary steps to create generational wealth. That's what our challenge. We vowed to come here and literally what the Lord says, be fruitful and multiply, but he said to leave for your children's children. That means that you have the ability, you already have everything you need for generational wealth inside of you. Everything. That's all the babies need to learn what clean looks like and feels like so they can enjoy sleeping at night. It hurts my heart, Jesus. Cleaning my own room changed my life. You can be stressed out for a whole week, don't know why, and it's just because you need to get organized. It's nothing like just getting organized. Cleaning your own house will take away a level of stress that you didn't even know. I'm telling you, you'll be like, something's just, I'm got a heaviness. And a lot of times it's just you need to declutter, get rid of some stuff. Listen, I got rid of it in my house. If it doesn't have a place to go, because I don't like looking at paper, I don't like looking at anything. If it doesn't have a place to go, it's time to go. That's my motto. If it doesn't have a place to go, it's time to go. Because all that means is you are harboring onto things that's adding up and causing things in your environment that is not allowing you to be conducive to clarity. And in this season, clarity is so powerful. Being able to have a clear mind so you can have a clear heart, so you can live and be able to maximize your clear path. It's so serious. But you guys, I have been on a rampage. I think I'm going to ride the cycle. I'm gonna ride for about 10 miles today. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna ride for about 10 miles today. Get this. I've been wanting to hit the trail for a long time. I missed the trail. You have to do the things. What are some of the things? Listen, I challenge you today. What are some of the things that make you happy? With me, it's outside nature. I love any kind of activity outside, and I love cycling. So I'm getting back to simple things that make me happy. Reading books make me happy. Being in a peaceful, pretty place makes me happy. If you learn 3 things that makes you happy, I guarantee you'll change your day and your life. And a lot of them don't require any money. Living in a beautiful place, you can clean your house up. Listen, I'm a Hobby Lobby girl. Listen, people think the stuff in my house costs so much money. No, listen, I'm Hobby Lobby, Ross, Burlington, Marshalls. Listen, I'm a spray. Listen, I know how to make it pretty on a budget, because I know that it's not about the money. It's about what you can do. Creativity. That's why you seen the journal that I had. Creativity, confidence, because you need confidence to be able to get these millions. Don't let nobody fool you into thinking that Don't let nobody fool you into thinking that you don't need to be confident, because you will walk into rooms and that in your internal space will make you start doubting and feeling like you're not worth. When the opportunities finally come, you'll be like this instead of like this, right? You need to be confident. Your money is in how creative are you? How creative are you? How can you make 10 things out of one thing? That one thing, how can you make 10 things out of it? After that leftovers from that turkey, how many different dishes, casseroles, rice with turkey, sandwiches, how creative can you get? It's just like how your money is. The gifts that you have, how many ways can you multiply that one gift? That's what you need to be focusing on and asking yourself. How many ways can I multiply this one gift that I have? Because that's called what? Creating multiple streams of income, right? Multiple streams, right? We need to be very clear. That's clarity. You need to be creative, and you need to be confident about yourself. Because if you are not confident about yourself, listen, what's the energy that they are willing to believe what you're saying? What's the energy? I'm going to show you. Hold on. I'm going to show you. What does this say? Clarity, creativity, and confidence. This book has changed so many lives, and I'm so grateful for it. And this book, this book is going to change even more lives. And actually, the first phase of this book is actually just now starting. So I'm so excited, because it's so many things and look, clarity, creativity, and confidence. This journal is not a regular journal. This journal helps you get clear on who you are, your goals for the year, breaking them down into quarters. It has some of the most powerful scriptures that I've used to be able to literally shift my mindset. For God knows the plan he has for you, that it is to prosper and not be of harm, plans of hope and a good future. Right, while going through this awesome experience, you need things. Romans 12, you got to be transformed from the renewing of the mind, right? The patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of the mind. Then you will be able to test and approve that God's will is and his plan, pleasing and perfect will for your life. Listen here, you must shift your mindset. The more you are positive, the more, Habakkuk 2:2, the Lord said, write the vision down, make it plain, so he who reads it. Listen, this thing is so simple if we just do what we need to do. The Bible has literally set this thing up for us to win. He's taught us how. What is self-care to you? Just like I just asked you those 3 things. What are 3 things in your life that make you happy? Try doing those 3 things and over and over and see how do you feel. I guarantee you those 3 things that make you happy will continue to make you happy. Get clear on 3 things in your life that make you happy. For me, it is being in a pretty environment. I mean, clean, organized, and pristine. It is being able to exercise in the outside, because that makes me feel good. And it makes, when I'm exercising, it's not just about exercise, it's about me feeling like I have given myself the due diligence to put me first. That's what exercise means to me. For some people, it means something else. Good morning, Cynthia Smith. Blessings, Janet. Hello, Venetia. For me, exercising is that I am in my journey putting me first. That's what exercising means for me. I am in my journey putting me first. So what are those 3 things that make you feel good? Repeat those. And I guarantee you, it will start being a standard staple in your life. And I guarantee you will stay feeling good. So what are those 3 things? Start making sure those 3 things are constant in your life. And I guarantee you, it will continue to transform your life. That's right. A clean environment is everything. Listen, and I'm learning that a clean environment is, that's why it's on here. I don't just make this stuff. Listen, clarity. That's a principle I live by. If my house is not clean, my mind is not focused. If my environment is not organized, I am running late looking for things. I am now shifting my spirit because now I'm trying to catch up and I'm rushing things. Create an environment that allows you to win. That's what I had to learn. What environment do you win best in? In a beautiful, organized, clutter-free environment allows me the opportunity to maximize winning. When I don't have that type of environment, it literally diminishes how I feel, and it starts making me stressed out, confused, and all kind of other things. It takes it to another place. How creative are you? Write down your gifts. Write down your gifts. What are your gifts? And then you write down how many ways can you multiply that one gift. And then you keep on going. That's why I created this journal, so that you can get clear on who are you? What do you possess? What makes you feel good? What do you value? What does self-care looks like for you? Because, you know, I meet so many women that have kids, and I meet so many women that have a husband, and I meet so many singles. And when you sit down and ask them, most of the times it's self-neglect. Because they are not clear on what is they have not gotten clear on the things that taking care of themselves, what it looks like. Not just getting your nails done, your hair done, your eyebrows. No, taking care of your spirit. What does that look like for you? You need to be so clear on that. Just like your deal breakers when you're dating or when you're dealing with people. What are things that are deal breakers to you that you value? That when it's not there in place, it's a no deal. You need to know that. And you need to know it to the point that you don't have to think about it. So that when it arises, you're like, something is wrong. With me, when I am not clear and when I get confused, I have to fix it. But I'm also at a crossroad where I am literally learning to leap over, because see, some things don't have to be, what they say, what's understood don't have to be explained. Some things I have to learn how to let things, because see, us as make it happen people, so many times we want to figure out the next move, and a lot of this that leads to a level of controlling things without you thinking you're controlling things, which allows you to start getting stuck in the thought process of a lot of things. When our journey is designed for faith, and faith means the unknowing for the knowing, the all-knowing God. So a lot of things that in this next season of my life, I don't know a lot, and I will not know. And I have to trust God on a level that I've never trusted before, because listen here, where he's taking me, I can't know. It's not designed for me to know. And guess what? I master in trying to figure things out. So that has been something that has literally taken me to a place that I'm taking it on to maximize it, because that's part of my journey. And guess what happens when you see things that are in your life that you are seeing over and over that you have to master? It's because you're supposed to help others master the same thing. Because I know a lot of overachievers deal with the same thing, that they have to get out of their head. And some of their biggest blessings are not connected to anything that they can do for themselves. It gets to a point that nothing you can do can even get you anywhere close to where God is taking you. So trying to figure out your tomorrow is only taking you away from your today and your now. And that's something that it's hard to the reality to deal with, but it's the truth. And when we learn what do you value? Listen, what do you value? What are the things in which you value? This book is going to help. I want to work with all these, and I'm so excited to work with all these young girls so they can learn early what are things that resonate with them. What do you value, so you can be so crystal clear, because you might not be intrigued on X, Y, and Z if you can know so engraved in your spirit what you value early, which is yourself, that you're worth it. What do you like about yourself? I need you to know that. You need to know what you like about yourself. Is it your personality? Is it your smile? Is it your thought? Like, what do you value about you? We need to know these things, because that's what we offer to the world. And if you don't know these things, we will fall short every single time. We will devalue and get sold off to people that literally never saw our worth from day one. We will end up in situations that are never showing and mirroring us our worth, because we are not clear on what we're worth, what we value, who we are, and what we offer to the world. When you know what you change, you don't have to worry about getting paid per hour. When you know the value you add, you don't have to worry about getting paid per hour, because you are getting paid for the end result. Whatever you did for them, it changed their life, and it might only take 15 minutes. But what you provided changed their life in 15 minutes. You don't get paid for 15 minutes. You get paid for the value you add and the change you create in others' lives. We have to be more value-based than it only took this amount of time. No, what are you worth? You have to decide that, so that you don't sell yourself short. That comes with relationships, that comes with business, that comes with everything. What am I creating? What value? It's plenty of people that do hair, but they don't do hair like me, and they don't provide the experience that you would experience. That's why I stopped being a part of the rat race long time ago as a hairstylist. I provided value in here to my clients. I learned how to become a solutionist and resourceful, so that when they came, they got more than just a hairdo. They got a full-fledged, I am here to serve you. What can I do that's beyond your hair? Then you don't get paid per hour. You get paid for the experience. And that's the value you've added to that person. They'll start coming. It's not even about their hair now. They're coming because it's the experience. And then it goes along to every person you start encountering. They will never forget you, because the experience you created when they were with you. They will want to do business with you because the experience you gave them when they met you. That's what we have to focus on, but that requires us to be clear on who we are, to know our value, to know what we offer, to know the change we provide to the world. We need to be clear on that, and we must be creative. So you guys, I have talked your head off. If you have not ordered this journal, order this. Ladies, if you have a ladies group, order this journal. Tell your ladies, clarity, creativity, and confidence. This journal will change your life. Listen, and if you're not going to write in it, do not order it. Because life is about application. It's just like going to church every single Sunday and your life's still the same. If you're not going to apply the word, it's no need. It's not about the money. It's about giving tools to be able to help change lives. This is the things that help change my life, and this is only for the people that I'm assigned to. So I'm doing my part to offer it to the world. Like, listen here. If you need some tools to get clear and creative and to maximize your dreams and to get things done, this journal will help you. It has mindset changing, just every single thing you need to shift where you currently are to your next level. But if you're not going to write in it, do not order it. Do not order it. For those that are looking for a journal and ready to start journaling, because the Bible tells us to write it down and make it plain and clear right here on Habakkuk 2:2. Write down the vision and make it plain. Listen, if we give the Lord back what he has told us to do, it works. If we give him back what he has told us to do, it works. Life is only about application. Don't just be a participant in life. Be a changer. Be somebody that creates change in the world. And that means that you're a person that applies the word to your life. You're a person that makes action and moves towards becoming your best self. The better you are, the better the world becomes because of you. We can't change anybody but ourselves. We are only responsible for nobody else in their actions or non-actions but ourselves. When I start focusing on me and not other people, when I start trying to stop fixing people and just start, listen, the only person that can fix somebody is the Lord. You will be disappointed and frustrated time and time again if you don't do what? Focus on changing you, changing my mindset. Not focusing on what they're thinking. I need to change my mindset. I need to change my reactions. I need to change my responses. I need to change what I'm expecting from people. I need to heal my heart so that I can have the capacity to deal with others that are not on the same journey that I am on, in reference to they're not quite yet committed to their healing. Because people that are not committed to their journey will only frustrate you. They will only hurt you. So you have to heal even more to have the capacity to deal with them in a way that you're not reactive and they're not pulling all of your past triggers and your childhood traumas and dramas and making you go backwards instead of forwards. Because we're here to help others, but that requires us to heal. That's why when I became a chaplain, it's because, listen here, I love to speak life anywhere I go. When I was dealing with my father when he was in the hospital, facing life and death and hearing doctors tell you that he might not make it over the night and this he only has a 10% chance of living. When I knew that speaking life, and I put scriptures right on that board where the nurses was, I made sure that environment smelled good, we must be talking about some good stuff because this alarm. I'm like, what's going on? I made sure that I spoke, thank you, Jesus. I made sure that I spoke life over him. I made sure that no one entered that room that could not look at his physical state, but where he was going and coming out of. I made sure that I created the atmosphere for him to thrive and live and not die. That's the change. And I remember seeing so many people that were in the ICUs and in the hospitals that had no family to visit them. It was so many people. I'm like, these people have lived their entire lives for it to be like this. They have nobody there. So that's one of the reasons I became a chaplain, because I know I wanted my daddy to feel good, and for somebody, I know how it helps him bounce back time and time again when they said 10% chance of, we don't know how he's living. It's called the grace of God. It's called it's not his time. It's called your will to live is your last to leave. So if you speak life and you believe it, you have the power to heal, and you have the power to literally be the complete opposite of what you're currently facing. That's one of my missions and why I became a chaplain, and I'm an international chaplain. So I will be traveling the world, speaking life, helping people be able to transfer their mindset. This same girl that they said lost her mind, the same girl that dealt with depression for 10 straight years, this same girl that they was like, oh, look like she done lost it all. No, honey, I just had to get my stories. That's all I had to do. I had to get the roadmap to the light. That's all I had to do. I had to understand how to go into that dark place, in that closet, in that darkness of my life, in those shadows of my life, and not cut the light on and shut the door, and understand that I am the light. That's what you have to do. You are the light, but the only way for you to figure out and to find out that you are the light is if you embrace the darkness. You deal with your ugly truths. You deal with the generational things that were set up to hinder you and harm you in the next generation. If you face it on head on, because the things that you fail to address, and that you fail to heal, and that you fail to deal with, the next generation has to deal with it. What you fail to face, they have to face. So why not heal so that the next generation they can come in whole and complete? They don't they will know early off who they are. They will know genuine love. They will know functional, non-dysfunctional environments. They will start off with the proper tools to maximize this life, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing, right? It's this same little chocolate girl that literally dealt with low self-esteem. That's why you see me what? Confidence. I had to learn how to get confidence like no other, because you'll see a whole lot of beautiful people do not feel like they're beautiful because it's how you feel about yourself. Once you figure out how loved you are, once you figure out how to really love yourself, they tell you love yourself, and we got everybody around here sitting in the chairs getting hair done, nail done, got nice cars, clothes, cute stuff, but they are broken. You can't fake a honey. I faked it for years. So when they sit in, when I meet people, I'm like, listen here, it's not necessary. If you're hurting, you're hurting. How long are you going to keep this up? It's not necessary. How long are you going to torture yourself with these same routine cycled emotions of doubt, of anger, of rage? Get this rage out of you. These feelings are so deep in your spirit till it is literally hindering any good thing to come in and stay in your life. That's why good things happen and it look like it leave the same amount of time that it came. It came so quick and left so quick because all that stuff got to get rooted. That deep rooted stuff has to be purged out of you. And then it's a process. So going to church and you might fall on this floor and they might slang some oil on you, but it is a process. And guess what? When you come up off that floor, you better get ready to fight for your life, because when the enemy sees, I want to be able to talk to the souls that come in, and I want to tell you how this thing really goes. We shouldn't just, everybody didn't get the grandmother that was evangelist or I didn't have the direct, here you go, this is what you do, I'm gonna take you on and show you the way. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I was looked at as the problem person. Like she's too defiant. She's not gonna listen. I was one of the ones that my spirit alone made. I was hard headed when I just wanted help. I wanted the answers. Can you help me? I'm coming here and leaving here the same exact way. I am dealing with this stuff mentally, and I need some help, some solutions. Don't just tell me to pray about it. Give me some steps. I'm over here about to take, don't even know I'm about to take my life, and literally, because I'm not getting the help. I need help. Listen, I need help. And nobody's pulling me to the side saying, baby, I'm gonna call you and show you what this is, and baby, I'm going to help you all night, and listen, you my God. I didn't get all that. I wasn't the goddaughter. I wasn't that one. I wasn't the one that they was like, I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you under my wings. No, I was too much work. So every person that was too much work, I want to help them get out of their dark, low places. That's one of the reasons why I became a chaplain. So for those that was wondering, that's one of the reasons. Because I know what it feels like to live in confusion, to live in darkness, to look for solutions and nobody willing to help you. I know what it feels like to look like you too much work. You not the easy route. I know what it feels like since you was a child. They were like, oh, she's just, she's talkative. The baby is unheard. The child don't feel like they got a voice, so they going to school acting up because when they go home, it's dysfunctional. Why you think the child acting like that? You think the child just acting like that for just any kind of reason? They're normally in a dysfunctional environment. Normally, the child is now, and then you growing up, they say, oh, she's too strong. She didn't have a choice. She's strong because that's the only thing she could do to survive. Listen, everything was set up for her to what? To fail. It was set up. I'm gonna need to switch this around. Everything was set up for her not to win. So she had to learn to be strong. She had to learn to mentally be strong. She had to put up these walls and these shields. She had to learn early. And then she couldn't trust her environment when she was young. So now she just grew up not trusting nobody, and she wants to trust, but it's so hard because they hurt her so early. The very people that was supposed to protect her, the very people that was supposed to be there to make her feel a level of comfort and safety, was the very people she felt like she had to guard herself from. So how can that baby, or how can that woman trust when so early on she was just trying to survive the living conditions in the environment? And then you had to make good grades in that same environment. Then you had to show up in pom-poms and tutus and look cute. You had to function well in that environment too. So guess what you learn how to do very early? How to put yourself last. You learn that your feelings never matter. You learn how to not trust nobody. You learn how to literally start zoning out real early. So now you listen to people, and it's hard for you to even listen because you learn how to zone off so early. So now it's when it's time for you to listen, you can't remember nothing that people saying because you learn how to what? Zone out, because everything was always so chaotic. Now when the good stuff comes to your life, it's hard to even receive that because you don't believe it. I understand what it feels like, and I don't want no more people to have to go through those unnecessary traumas and not know how to get up out of there. I know what it feels like to feel like you are isolated. I know what it feels like for them to give you a disorder early, or to give you some kind of diagnosis because, quote unquote, blessings, Sherry, blessings, Divine. I know what, hey, Alondra, blessings. I know what it feels like for them to want to label you or give you a quick pill to let you zone off without helping you, without saying what is wrong. Can we look at what's really going on with this child? Because then that child becomes an adult with those same hurts and pains, just on another level. That child now becomes an adult that literally is isolated and have created a bubble that it's hard for them to literally let anybody in, even somebody good, because they had to protect their heart so long that their heart was just like, I don't want to ever feel that again, so I'm not going to let nobody in. So it's hard for you to deal with women. It's hard for you to trust anybody that you feel is weak, because then and have compassion, because then you're like, I had to learn how to trust, because I thought that if you are not coming off this way, then you should not be dealing with that. And then you become what they call too strong. Oh, see, so you just too much work. No, I'm not too much work. You have to listen. I've been through things that allow me to have to protect myself in a way that now I'm learning how to be able to free my emotional space to live out of love and not fear, because fear is not of God. I'm learning now that nobody can harm or hurt me. Nobody. I'm learning now that nobody can strip or take nothing away from me. I'm learning now that nobody can lie on me and it's ever going to make a difference. Because, when I was a child, I had grown adults that would be like, she did X, Y, and Z. I didn't do nothing. But they saw it in you early, right? The enemy sent a whole lot of people in your life. He come at you early now. He don't come at you when you're old. He come at you real early. Right. Then you have no tolerance for nothing. So you just cutting off people left and right in life. I was like, how can I build relationships if the people sneeze? I'm like, oh, I don't have time for this. You gone. How can I build relationships if anything or disagreement, I'm just cutting people? I was the queen of cutting people off. That's right. I had zero tolerance for anything. And life is not built on zero tolerance. It's built on your capacity to have grace for yourself and for others. The more we heal, the more we have grace for people that we would have normally had a right to cut off now. But we have grace. And we have a level of, we're not responding and reactive like we used to. Before, it was just like this. You go from 0 to 100. Now you actually have some peace in your spirit to actually sit back and be like, okay, they didn't mean that. They hurt. Let me look at it another way. They're acting that way. They're crying out. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Let me pray for them. Something's wrong. Because normally when you're frustrated in your spirit, you don't know how to do nothing but cause dysfunctional situations. So they acting like this because something internally, they're having a moment. And I'm going to give them some grace. And by you giving them some grace, that very grace is when they're going to be like, she was supposed to told me off, or she was supposed to write me off, but she didn't. She was supposed to snap back at me, but she didn't. You know what? She really is a nice person, or she really loves me. You know what? Well, how did you get to be the way you are? And then that's when you introduce the Lord to him. The only way for the Lord to shine through you is for it to be situations that normally people hurt you. And normally you have to heal to the point, and that's the process of healing. That's why you have to heal to the point to not be so reactive. And normally after the situation, you're able to see the assignment in it, or you're able to see your position in it. You can come from a place of grace and not anger and rage, because that's our normal reaction. You know, we're human. That's our normal reaction. Blessings, Justin, blessings. And that's why I came up with the Transformation Place. So the Transformation Place is not just a salon. It was birthed out of me transforming from the inside out. I used to be a piece of work because I had so much rage in me. I would doubt every single thing that came my way, because I was just like, I don't believe them. I don't trust them. They got to show me before it was so much toxic mindsets. I had to do more unlearning than learning. I had to do so much unlearning. And then I had to get to the point that understanding that I know absolutely nothing. When you get to the point of understanding that you know absolutely nothing, that you have just begun, and you stay at that place, that's the place that God can really do some things in your life. That's when he can really start healing some things. When you like, what I thought I know, I don't even... let me allow the Lord to erase and then redefine what I value, or who I am, or what I want to believe. Let me redefine. Let me take away all those toxic thinkings and coping skills that were not healthy. You know, because well, this is just who I am. You can stay how you are, but that's not going to help you become your best self. Hello, Jimmy. Because if you are committed to the journey, and if you are committed to becoming your best self, because that's the whole point of this life, is to become your best self. It's to unlearn the things that were designed for you to fail and to not even meet your true self. Then you have cheated yourself. So I meet so many people, that's the way I am. It is perfectly fine for you to stay that way. But when you stop learning and you stop growing, that means you're dying. So you still might be living. That's how you meet people that might die or might leave here. They 70-some years old, still bitter and angry, because they gave up on their process of healing. They gave up on their process. So they might have stopped and shut everybody off at 20-something years old, or 18 or 19. And they continue to live, but they didn't really live. And you don't want to be that person, because the graveyard is full of so many dreams. It's full of so many amazing things that people never got birthed out of them, and they never got free from. The graveyard is full of it. It's full of so much potential in the graveyard. You want to be a person that lives this life for what it really is. And the only way to live this life for what it really is to heal. And so many people put their personal healing and growth as a secondary priority when it should be your first. Because nothing can be built on that foundation. That's why you see people with all kind of money and everything. The Lord has always blessed me to be comfortable and to have money. And I thank God for that. I work very hard, but he has always blessed me to be in those type of situations. I've had moments where I've lost it all. Bankruptcies, foreclosures, but I could never stay in those spaces, because I knew that was just not my norm. And that's why I feel as though the Lord allows us to go through certain things to understand that this life is designed for you to heal to the point that anything that ever was set up for you not to win, you looked at the opportunity to grow. You looked at the opportunity to heal. You did the complete opposite and healed instead of being hurt. and bitter. You did the opposite of took that as a lesson instead of a stone that keeps stumbling over time and time again. You took that as an opportunity to become your best self instead of staying stagnant your entire life. Like, listen, we are designed to win, and it's all set up for us to win. And every single thing you've ever been through, you have the capability and the capacity to master it. And the Lord will turn every pain into profit if you do what you need to do to allow him to do what he needs to do in your life. So you guys, I hope this live is long. I'm going to have my assistant have this on YouTube, so she'll be loading this up. You guys can go over to my YouTube channel if you're ever needing a moment of encouragement. I do a lot of lives to talk and then to also create a YouTube channel so that you're able to find some kind of video that can help you if you just need a little shift in your spirit. I'm going to start talking more so on practical tools to work through this and not just the motivational aspects of it. But we are all in this thing together. If I do better, you do better. If you do better, I do better. It's all connected. We are all in this together. Heal the world by healing yourself, right? Make a difference in the world by making a difference in yourself, right? You guys, remember, this is the month of August, right? Oh, blessings to you, Adria. This is the month of August, right? This is the month 8 is of new beginnings. This is a new level available to you. Everything of your past no longer matters if you choose to move forward, if you choose to work on your mindset, if you choose to be able to become the best thing that you are created to be, if you choose to see your worth. Because remember, they can only see your value if you see your value. Remember, they only see what you allow them to know that you see within yourself, right? So you guys, do me a favor, this journal, because I know somebody that you know, if not you, needs this journal. Clarity, creativity, and confidence. This journal has helped me and so many clients, and we're on our first phase of getting this out to the world on another level. I'm so excited about that because listen here, it is so many people that need what you have. Some of the steps I put in this journal, the steps that help me get my foundational principles to my, to moving forward boldly and knowing what, just literally having a clear plan of who I am, what I need to do, what I want to do, what I have to offer, the things that make me happy, how I need to literally, what is self-care to me, what do I value, what do you value determines your life, because that's going to determine what you entertain. The things that you value is what you entertain. If you value foolishness, you go surround yourself around foolishness. If you value peace and you value prosperity, you're going to entertain things that provide peace and prosperity. It's all about what you value. If you value your health, you're going to eat right. You're going to be active. Blessings, Christine. Hey, Stephanie Williams. Blessings, Mother. How you doing? It's all about what we value, right? You decide what you value. You decide that. You decide what you value. You decide that. What morally, what do you stand for? Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. The world is going to a place morally where people just doing whatever they want to do, and they making it look like it's right. And it's hard being a single woman out here, I'm telling you, because you have standards and values, and they like, well, and then it look like it's taking forever for you to get the right things, and you're like, you have to stay motivated and you have to stay clear on what you value and who you are, because the world around you, it looks like everybody that's doing whatever looks like now that they're getting the things that you feel like you are sacrificing for. And that's when you have to stay clear on your value system, because what is true to you. And it's also going to be times in your life when you get at crossroads, when you have to redefine the things in which you used to value that no longer serve you. Because some things that were put into our mind was based out of those people, their fear. Some things that was put into our mind was out of their lack of knowing. They just heard, or they didn't get the understanding. So you are, as an adult, have a responsibility for your journey to figure out what all that entails for you. That's what you are responsible for, your journey. So the Transformation Journal is online at www.nekiafoxx.com. You can go to the shop menu. You will see the Transformation Journal. We also have a 2019 planner. We have so many other tools and tips. And listen, if you all are trying to start a business, I have online courses on nekiafoxx.com. You go to the course section and you can find, I'm going to be uploading a few more courses on there soon on how to expand your business and get the money to grow your business. Because that's a lot of times we're working in industries time and years and years and years and only using what we have left over after we make our money. And the hardest way to grow your business or to stay in business is when you're using what you have. We need to get the proper tools to know how to get the capital to expand, and we have to have a clear plan and vision in order to do that. That's why you see everything I'm talking about is about clarity, plans, visions, and also we need to have the resources to know what's available. It's as simple as what banks you need to go to, what scores you need to have, what all paperwork you need to have before you go in there, what plan of action do you need to have in place before you go. Like a lot of these things I had to learn out of trial and error. A lot of these things no one's sitting down telling you. Last year alone I helped, I think it was how many businesses? 6 businesses get close to $500,000. Seven businesses get close to $500,000 worth of capital. One bought the building. This is all commercial. This is all provided information to be able to help others get executed goals done in their life and in their business, and to create generational wealth without sacrificing your personal livelihood. So many times we're doing things manually the wrong way, got everything in our personal names without growing our businesses. Your business will work for you. It doesn't work against you, it works for you. So we need to put the proper tools in place to be able to set the foundation of our businesses to work and create systems to be able to get these things done. So you guys, once again, I'm Nekia Foxx from Nekia. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Stephanie. Nekia Foxx and Company. I help amazing men and women transform from the inside out. It's more than just money over here. It's all about your peace of mind. Deanna Fair, it's about your peace of mind. It's about how powerful you are at the end of the day. We are so powerful. We are co-creators in our lives. It's what we think. It's all about how we feel, and it's all about us learning how to get out of the rat race, right? Because it's always going to be distractions, but it's how you decide to master yourself so you can maneuver better in it. Blessings, Natalie, Dr. Millionaire. I'm telling you, this is my friend girl for over 20 years, and she's, of course, you see it, Dr. Natalie Walker. But I look forward to one day soon being able to invest the way Natalie has invested at 19 years old. I remember meeting Natalie when we was in college, and she said she wanted to be a millionaire. And we were, I think it was 18 years old. I think we were 18 years old. And I was like, okay, but she had a budget back then. But Natalie is full of wealth. I know the first book she gave me was The Millionaire Next Door. Truly changed my mindset on how to acquire millions and how millionaires live versus what people think they live. How to create multiple streams of income, how to strategize. She is a master strategist. She is a spiritual leader on another level, has great insight, always full of wisdom. She is the doctor of wisdom, I call her. But for those, get connected to Dr. Natalie Walker. I'm so grateful to have you as a friend and be connected to you, and I appreciate all the wisdom you've given me throughout the years. I truly do. And I'm looking forward to being able to invest the way you've invested throughout the years, to be able to acquire the life that God has for you. Blessings, Natalie. Blessings, blessings, every single person on this live, because the beautiful thing about this life, if we're connected, then we're all in alignment. If we don't just get connected to people everybody, even to every person that I know on Facebook, we're connected and we have something in common. Anything you see in somebody else is because it's already in you. So remember that anything that you see in somebody else that you value is because it's like a radar. It's because it's already in you. So understand that if you win, I win. If I win, you win. We're all in this thing together. Stay committed to your journey and your process. God has so much in store for you. This is our season like never before. This is the month 8. So make sure you take this energy that's available. Make sure you maximize this season. God's going to do so much by the end of this year. Understand that it requires action, a clear plan, and discipline. It's so serious. Discipline is everything. What are you willing to give up? Who are you surrounding yourself around? How much peace do you have? Because your peace produces power. How much self-discipline you have? Because the more self-discipline you are, the more you can execute and stay in tunnel vision, right? That's right. It's called iron sharpens iron. That's the whole point of being a believer. You're around like-minded individuals. That's right. That's how this thing works in life. It's all divine. So it's all interconnected, and God will continue to reveal to us the ways in which we are to continue to bless each other, because it's a continuous process. You have something I need. I have something you need. That's the beauty of it. So you guys, thank you for your time on this Thursday. I know I have gone long on this live, but I pray that it blesses somebody in a major way on this day, because I feel a heaviness in the air. I feel a lot of movement going on. And I know a lot of people are stretched. And when you're in that stretch season, you must master your mindset and your emotions, because that is what's controlling how you see what's currently going on in your life. Blessings, Priscilla. So listen, God has this thing already in control. I am in a season of learning to surrender. Surrender, right? It is not easy, but I'm in a season of surrender, and I'm all about the bottom line. So we will get these things done that need to be done internally. We will allow God to do what only He can do in our lives. And we have to stop trying to fix people, change people. Change yourself and you will change the world. All we can focus on is ourselves. So that's what I'm focusing on. Me, and me. So they can call it selfish. If I do better, you do better. Listen, the more I get to do better, the more you get to do better. The more when you see another fellow sister or brother elevating, clap. That means that you didn't have to know about that blessing. Clap. Please. You're supposed to be shouting like it's your blessing. Listen, if you see somebody else around you, it's hard because your spirit be like, Because I know when I'm feeling some kind of way, I'll be like, oh, Lord. But I literally have to shift my spirit. Because listen, we are all in this together. If they win, you win. Clap. Clap, clap, clap. Praise, praise, praise. Celebrate like it's yours, because He down your lane, because you ain't have to witness it. You ain't have to know nothing about it. And be just like Elisha and Elijah. Elisha got blessed with a double portion because he was connected to Elijah, doing everything and every elevation that happened around Elijah. So listen, this thing is real. Listen, celebrate, witness it, because He's allowing you to witness it, because you obviously supposed to have on that level, if not more. Listen, this thing is designed for us. It's so serious. It's designed for us to win. It's designed. Blessings, Cleo. Seriously, it's designed. Blessings, Denise. It's designed for us to win. And this is the season that you will see God throw blessing upon blessing upon blessing upon blessing all around you and with your situations. It's some things that, listen here, I know He's about to blow my mind. So I'm like, Lord Jesus, I told you, I tell everybody, how you doing? I'm in the waiting room. How are you doing today, Nekia? I'm good. I'm in the waiting room. It's real, but it's real good. I'm in the waiting room. Listen, when you know you've done all you can do, you in the waiting room. What happens when you're in the waiting room? You know you got this birth about to come any moment now. I'm in the waiting room. Listen, you in the waiting room. That's why you stay in position. You in the waiting room. It's just like a mother about to give birth. It's a delicate time. Focus, honey, so you can push this dream up out you. Make this thing a reality. Bear down. Take it in. We under some deep pressure, or have been. But listen, the release is here. We're in release season, honey. So I know it was real. Breathe. Breathe again. You know, even doing meditation, they be like, breathe. No, breathe and breathe again. I know it might feel, listen, it's time to give birth. It is time to give birth. Listen, it is time. I'm going to say that again. And for those that are supposed to receive that, it's time to give birth. So bear down. You are ready, honey. Full term dilated, honey. Get ready. People get the stirrups. It's time to push. Time to push. Listen, it was a long season, but it's time to push. The Lord is literally about to bless us like never before. So do what you need to do that you can control, because you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So that's the name of this live today. Exactly. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, experiencing exactly what you're supposed to experience. So take it all in. Find the positive in everything. It's release season, honey. Release it all. This is the 15th day of release. Release anything that no longer serves you. Get prepared and ready to receive everything that's for you. Let's say that again. Release everything that no longer serves you, and get ready to receive all that God has for you. Remember that. It's here now. So when you start seeing it, you're going to be like, yeah, it's here. So we're in the delivery room. Congratulations in advance to all. Congratulations. Congratulations. It's here. For those that know, I am Miss Florida. I am so excited to represent you all in Milwaukee, October. So I'm getting ready to launch all those things. So for those that want to support that part of my journey, you can go on NekiaFoxx.com as well. Go to the shop area. You will see sponsorship at the bottom. I hope this live was able to do something. I got to take this call that's coming in. God bless you all and have an amazing day. No, thank you. Bye. Everything